Cancer caution baby powder. Cancer charities say there is inconclusive evidence that talcum powder can cause cancer. According to the Australian Cancer Council, in its natural form, some talc may contain asbestos, which is known to cause cancer. However, modern domestic talcum powder does not contain asbestos. Talcum powder is made from talc, a mineral mined from deposits around the world that is crushed into a white powder. But even asbestos-free talc, used in talcum powder, has been linked with an increased risk of ovarian cancer in women who apply it in the genital area, with 3 high-profile cases against the company leading to payouts for cancer sufferers. However, the company maintains that it is safe to apply to all areas of skin. Studies have had mixed findings, with some reporting a slightly increased risk, while others have found no increase. The International Agency for Research on Cancer unhelpfully classifies genital use of talc as possibly carcinogenic. The agency is part of the World Health Organization, which gathers together experts from all over the world to work out how likely products are to cause cancer. There are approximately 7,300 cases of ovarian cancer in the UK every year, and despite being rare, it is often fatal, as British women only have a 35% chance of survival if they are diagnosed with it. Recent litigation against Johnson & Johnson is not the first time consumers have targeted the company over health concerns, including over its No More Tears baby shampoo. The company agreed 4 years ago to remove 1,4-dioxane and formaldehyde, both considered probable carcinogens, from all of its products by 2015. Experts are continuing to work on whether or not talcum powder is linked to ovarian cancer, but as the debate has already raged for 4 decades, it is unlikely that there will be a definitive conclusion anytime soon. Dr. Louisa Dillner, who heads a BMJ research group, advises that though talc is not unsafe, using a dry towel instead is safer. A jury has ordered to pay $417 million in damages to a 63-year-old woman in Los Angeles who developed ovarian cancer after using the company's talc-based baby powder for decades. Like many women who use baby powder to freshen up or reduce chafing between their thighs, on their genitals, or in their underwear, 63-year-old Eva Echevarria was unaware for many years of the potential link between ovarian cancer and talc, an ingredient in some types of baby powder. This isn't the first time the company has been involved in a lawsuit over its popular powder, and it will likely face hundreds more cases in the future, according to Reuters. In May, a Missouri jury awarded $110 million to a Virginia woman who alleged that her cancer was caused by baby powder, and last October, a Missouri woman was awarded more than $70 million. Earlier in 2016, Johnson & Johnson was also ordered to pay $72 million to the family of a woman who died in 2015, and $55 million to a South Dakota woman who survived. 2 similar suits in New Jersey and 1 in St. Louis have been dismissed after a judge deemed there was insufficient evidence linking talc to ovarian cancer. All of this may leave you wondering, so, can using baby powder cause ovarian cancer? Well, here's the thing. We wish we could give you a resounding, emphatic no way. But the answer to this question is murky. Here's everything we know so far. As of now, it's unclear. The FDA says that literature dating back to the 1960s has suggested a possible association between talc powders and ovarian cancer. But the data is wishy-washy, says Dr. Menken. Some studies haven't found a connection, and other ones have only shown a small increase in the hazard ratio. And there are lots of different variables in these studies for researchers considered. For example, one 2013 study analyzed nearly 20,000 people and found that those who used any type of powder down they were 20% to 30% more likely to have ovarian cancer than those who didn't use any powder. The findings led the researchers to suggest that avoidance of genital powders may be a possible strategy to reduce ovarian cancer incidence. However, the researchers pointed out a few of the study's limitations. Participants might have overestimated how often they used these products, and not all powders contain talc, some contain cornstarch instead. Then, a 2014 study published in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute looked at data from about 60,000 women and found no link between powder use and ovarian cancer risk. Back in 2010, the International Agency for Research on Cancer concluded that there is limited evidence in humans that using talc-based body power on the genital areas is carcinogenic, and stated that using it down there is possibly carcinogenic in humans. Robin Anderson, Ph.D., an ovarian cancer researcher at Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, says that when she works with women with ovarian cancer, she asks them about their use of talcum powder. We know it's a possible risk factor, we just don't know how of a risk factor it is, she says. Anderson says that because the powder is made up of such finely ground particles, it might be able to travel up the mucous membranes in the vaginal canal and eventually work its way into the ovaries. Once there, the powder might cause inflammation and eventually cancer. Ovarian cancer. It has been suggested that talcum powder might cause cancer in the ovaries if the powder were to travel through the vagina, uterus, and fallopian tubes to the ovary. Many studies in women have looked at the possible link between talcum powder and cancer of the ovary. Findings have been mixed, with some studies reporting a slightly increased risk and some reporting no increase. Many case control studies have found a small increase in risk. But these types of studies can be biased because they often rely on a person's memory of talc use many years earlier. Two prospective cohort studies, which would not have the same type of potential bias, have not found an increased risk. For any individual woman, if there is an increased risk, the overall increase is likely to be small. Still, talc is widely used in many products, so it is important to determine if the increased risk is real. Research in this area continues. Lung cancer. Some studies of talc miners and millers have suggested an increased risk of lung cancer and other respiratory diseases, while others have found no increase in lung cancer risk. These studies have been complicated by the fact that talc in its natural form can contain varying amounts of asbestos and other minerals, unlike the purified talc in consumer products. When working underground, miners can also be exposed to other substances that might affect lung cancer risk, such as radon. No increased risk of lung cancer has been reported with the use of cosmetic talcum powder. Other cancers. Talc use has not been strongly linked to other cancers, although not all possible links with other cancers have been studied extensively. One study suggested genital talcum powder use may slightly increase the risk of endometrial cancer in women who are past menopause. But other studies have not found such a link. Further studies are needed to explore this topic. Some limited research has also looked at a possible link between inhaled talc exposure at work and other cancers, such as stomach cancer. But there is no strong evidence of such links at this time.